I'm Dean Stott.
And I'm Alana Stott.
And you're listening to Behind the Scene Podcast. In this special Season 2 in collaboration with 511, we're going to go back and interview those who are in front of the camera and behind the camera from Toughest Forces on Earth.
Toughest Forces on Earth was an incredible show and we were both delighted to be part of it. We got to meet some of the most incredible forces around the world. Like any other viewer, we were left wanting more, so we wanted to find out more about how they work, why they work, and what it is they do. This season will give you that.
On this episode, I'll be interviewing Major General Abdullah from the 21st GGK. We'll talk more about the swamp survival, the live firing, and how they were born out of the Royal Marine Commandos. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Major General Abdullah, firstly, thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast. I think last time you and I were acquainted was on the beach when we finished the final mission. So it's great to see you again.
Thank you very much, Dean, to be here this morning.
From me, if you could just firstly introduce yourself to the audience, let us know a bit about your background and your military experience.
My name is Major General Rdzwan bin Abdullah. I am the 21st Special Service Group Commander. I joined the Malaysian Armed Forces, or the Malaysian Army, in 1983, and go through the cadet school in Royal Military College in Kuala Lumpur, and later I volunteered to join the commandos. Then I went through the basic commando course in Malaysia. And I think you have seen and you heard about how the basic commando course was conducted. And later, in 1994, I was selected to attend the Q course, the Special Forces Officers Qualification Q course in the States. I attended in Fort Bragg for, I think it's about 6 months. Then later, attended my Pathfinder School and also Jump Master School in Fort Benning. And later, back to Fort Bragg to attend my Free Fall and also Free Fall Jump Master School. And we did all our jumps in Arizona and Yuma Proving Ground. And my last course that I attended was Air Escort School in Fort Shafter under the 25th ID before I flew back to Malaysia in 1996. So I spent almost a year in the States.
Amazing. A great career there. And just for us, we've now seen the episode. It's a great episode, and Malaysia. You guys did Malaysia very proud. It's a 45-minute episode, so there's so much that we missed. For me and the listeners, what I want to know more is about the GGK, how you guys were formed and why you were formed, and know a bit more about your history and how you came about. Because I won't lie, until I came over to Malaysia, I wasn't aware of you guys, and I was very impressed with what I saw. So if you can just explain, why the GGK were formed.
GGK was formed when we had a confrontation with Indonesia way back in 1960s. So in 1964, the late Prime Minister Tun Razak have initiated the idea for the Malaysian Army to establish the Special Forces. In 1965, we had the 40th Royal Commando Marine Commandos. They were here, and volunteers were selected from the Malaysian Army, from the various corps and regiment, from the Royal Military Regiment, Royal Ranger Regiment, the Cavalry Regiment, the Tank Regiment, and some of them from the Combat Service Support and also Service Support. And about 300 personnel, including officers, were trained during the time only 12 made it. And later on, we had a couple of courses conducted by the instructors from the 40th Royal Marine Commandos. Then we had a number of volunteers from other corps. And actually, it is because of the confrontation that we had with the Indonesian. Then officially, the Malaysian Special Unit, it was called those days. It was formed up in a camp called Majidi Camp in Johor.
Amazing. And obviously, the Royal Marine Commandos are famous for the coveted Green Beret. And so those listeners that aren't really aware of that, the coveted Green Beret means you have to earn it. So in the UK, we have the Airborne Forces, we have the Special Air Service. If you're attached to those units, you can have the same colour beret as them. But for the coveted Green Beret, you have to go through the commando course. And it was great to see that you guys had taken on that ethos as well. And so your selection process, what is your selection process? If someone was to join from a standard civilian, how long is that process and what does it look like for them?
For the recruitment, for joining the Special Forces, the candidates for the enlisted or the other ranks, they are from the, after they finish the Army basic trainings in Production for 6 months, then there will be a selection process done by the Special Forces Directorate and also from 21 GGK to select those other rank or enlisted to join the course, the selection course. That is the first part of the selection. And for the officers, the selection process will be done at we have what we call the National Defence University of Malaysia. So they after they go through the 4 years training and they get their degrees, and then there will be a selection process based on the voluntary process. And we also have another selection process done at TRADOC, where we have we call it the Army Academy, the Malaysian Army Academy, where they go through a year course and they will commission as an officers. And we do selection for the officers from the Army Academy. Other than that, we also select officers and also other ranks from units. So the Special Forces Directorate and also assisted by 21 GGK from the training cell, and we will go around to all the units in Malaysia, and we do promotion, and also we will do our selection for those who are still serving in their present units, such as infantry units or armor units, engineer units, any other units that volunteer. Then they will come to 21 GGK for another selection process. We call it the orientation for a month. So it is like SFAS, what's done during the Special Forces Q course selection. Then they will go through a rigorous physical and also mental fitness. Then after for a month, when they have been selected, then later they will attend the basic commando course for 3 months.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it's a lengthy process, and obviously myself, Cameron, and Ryan got an opportunity to witness some of these guys going through their selection process, which I'll touch on later on. And you mentioned before yourself having to come over, come into America, working with the Green Berets and doing training. Do your guys, the GGK, still do that now? Do they get an opportunity to go to foreign forces, and also foreign forces come to you?
Yes, we do still have bilateral exercises with the U.S. Special Forces. Usually they are from the first group. It is a yearly exercise when we call it the Access Balance Beat. And we do also have exercises with the Australians. The exercise Dawn Tiger, it is done in Malaysia. And also exercise Dust Tiger is done in Swanbourne, Perth, Australia. And we do also have exercises with the Indonesians, with the Kopassus. It is planned to have an exercise reciprocal. It is done in Indonesia. And for this year, it will be done in Malaysia. And we do also have other special forces bilateral exercise yet to come with the Thai special forces this year.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I see the advantages of obviously units coming together and training together, learning about each other's TTPs. You mentioned also that you also now do training with Indonesians. You know, back in the day that they were your enemy. You know, you guys are experts in jungle warfare and counterterrorism. What are the biggest threats to you now as a nation?
Okay, at the moment, we have a good relationship with the Indonesians. Forget about what happened during the confrontation, because it was the era in the 60s. So now we have a very good relationship, especially to do with military and doing exercises with them. So we do not have any imminent threat with any of to do with combating terrorism or any other threat, except for the cross-border operations. It happens everywhere, where there are smuggling and trafficking. It is most done by the local authorities. But if in the sea, then it's involved the Malaysian maritime agencies, the police, and when required, then the special forces will be deployed. But at the moment, we have not been involved in the operation dealing with trafficking and smuggling, because it's done by the local authorities. So we do not have any imminent threat with Indonesians. We have very good relationship with them.
Yeah, that's excellent news. And obviously, you know, there's no threats at the moment, but obviously you guys need to stay current. You need to still need to stay active and at the top of your game. And we saw that. We witnessed that when we came down to see you guys. You guys were amazing. And just to touch on some of the guys on their selection, you know, we got to witness a group of guys just finishing their 100-mile yomp. You know, these guys were at the end of their tether. Other than endurance, what are you looking for in your recruits through their selection process?
So we are looking into, first of all, they have to go through a physical medical test done by the doctors. Because during they join the army, doesn't matter if they are officers or other ranks, they have to go through a medical checkup. But for the those who are selected to come for the basic model course, they have to do a thorough medical checkup from head to toe, so that they are physically fit medically, because there are some incidents where they have broken bones, they have some kind of disease that detected after they finish their training, such as asthmatic, some broken bones and so on. So during the training, when they go through during the recruit training, or when they were going through the officers cadet training, then they have to pass the medical fitness test first. Then later, we do a proper selection where they are tested. We have the scheme on how to test those who are able to join the orientation first before they go for the basic model course. So the physical test, they have to run 3.2 kilometers. They have to do heaving, push-ups, and we have the list of tests. And the important thing is that they must be able to swim. So they must be able to swim, then they are selected to attend the orientation course first, before they attend a proper basic model course. I will explain about the basic model course after this.
So the recruits that we saw had just finished their 100 miles, and what they then do, the next phase of that, when they're totally depleted, energy's down, they then go into the swamp and do some survival. I've been fortunate to do my survival, evasion, resistance, extraction in the Arctic, in temperate climates, in the jungle as well. But I've never experienced anything like your swamplands. I think the viewers, when they see that episode, they're going to be absolutely fascinated. And again, I take it, what you're looking for there is character through the individuals. You're looking for some grit. You're looking for people that stand out. I know some selection process are looking for those that are natural leaders, some of those that fit in the team. And I think if you didn't pull your weight in that swamp, you could be quite easily exposed.
Before I explain about the swamp survival, before you ask the next question is regarding the basic model course itself. The basic model course is about 3 months. Okay, 3 months, and it is conducted in 5 phases. Okay, the first phase is the camp phase. It is about 5 weeks, where they will be tested physically on and also tactics, weapon handling, tactics on certain on TTPs, where it will be done. And also, they will be physically tested for all the marches where they must pass. If they fail, then they will not be going to the next phase. So the next phase is the jungle phase. So during the jungle phase, it's about 2 weeks. The jungle phase, where they will go through all the training to do with jungle warfare. So how we do tactics in the jungles, because the Malaysians are experts in jungle warfare. And before they embark through the next phase, the third phase is the spawn phase. So during the survival, they will be worn out because they will not enough food. And they only will survive with whatever there's creeping and running along the jungle. I think you have experienced that. So they will do a long march, about 100 miles. So you can imagine they are worn out. They have not been eating good food. They be very tired, and that will be the ultimate of their physical so-called tests. For 100 miles, they have to walk for 3 days and 2 nights. And most of them will break down during the long march, that is 100 miles. Like what we do during the Robin Sage in Special Forces. But in Special Forces, Robin Sage, we will walk alone. But for the basic model course, they have to come in a group. And this way, you will see a lot of them fail because of injuries due to heat stroke, dehydrated, and injuries of food. The feet will be worn out, and that's where they will fail. Then the medical doctor will check them. Then if they cannot make it, it's a no-go. Then during the survival, I think you enjoyed your stay in Malaysia during the documentary, where you will stay in the swamp for a week. I think you have already experienced it. So that's how we go through for a week in the swamp without any clothes. Yeah, and we eat whatever that is in the swamp phase. Then for a week, then later, the 4th phase will be the sea phase. Then later, the 5th phase will be the ENE, or escape and evacuation. Then it's about 240 kilometers, approximately. So they have to do the ENE. So all the phases, the 5 phases, is considered it will challenge your mental and also your physical fitness. And it's not that easy.
Yeah, without a doubt. I know Cameron and Ryan obviously got small exposure being in the swamp, and we were only there for a few hours, but we could just imagine how difficult that would be having just done a 100-mile march and to stay there for a week. So really is one of the big standout ones for me on this series. What was that? You touched on the weapon training. I had a slight grin on my face when I saw the MP5 weapon I'm very familiar with in the UK Special Forces. And we did the live firing exercise. You know, as with the UK Special Forces, everything's live firing. But there was an exercise we witnessed, and it was where your guys were firing at paddles that the other guys were holding. I'd not witnessed that before, but I did hear rumours that this did come down from the UK SAS back in the 70s. Can you shed any light on that, where that exercise did come from?
Actually, all the exercises that the training that we went through, it is when we have bilateral exercises, especially with the SAS from UK and also from Australia. Other than we get all this experience from the US Special Forces. So we will train our soldiers accordingly to our TTP and also to our environment in Malaysia.
The final mission profile we did was a POW rescue, which was actually based on a real mission in the past. You know, for us, there was a lot of effort. There was a lot of working parts. There was the helicopter inserts. There was the boat inserts. There was a lot of logistics into that final exercise. And again, you know, probably one of the better ones that we did. Are you able to shed light on one of those real life POW rescue missions that was conducted, which this was based on?
We did not have a so-called a real life POW where we do hostage rescue. Only thing that with the experience that we have is when we were involved during the counter-insurgency warfare in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, where we were going against the Communist parties of Malaya. So it is more of a special operation done by the Special Forces, GGK, where we were deployed during the emergency, and also the CIW when we were fighting with the cities or the communist terrorists way back. But we do not have any experience in real life in doing hostage rescue. But in 1999, when there was an incident where the Abu Sayyaf group kidnapped the Malaysians in Sipadan and Digitan, is islands in Borneo. So during the time, I was the OC in 21 Commando. We were prepared and trained. We were in isolation for about a month before we were deployed. We were supposed to be deployed to Borneo. There's two islands where the kidnapping happened, to rescue our citizens from an island called Pulau Holo in southern part of Philippines. But that mission was not conducted because the Malaysian government discussed with the Philippine government, and eventually all those who were kidnapped were released. But during the time, yes, we had an isolation. We did a proper training on how to rescue the Malaysian citizen that was kidnapped by the Abu Sayyaf group in 1999.
Fingers crossed you don't need to deploy your hostage rescue teams ever. And when you heard about this show, you know, what did you first think when you heard about the show? Did you have any reservations, or did you see it as an opportunity for the world to get insight into the GGK and its capabilities?
Yeah, at first I think it is something good, because I think most of the countries in the world doesn't know what the mission Special Forces have succeeded since 1965 when it was formed. And probably some of them do not know how the Special Forces or GGK's selection process, what are the expertise that we have. Looking at the environment in Malaysia, we are surrounded by jungle in Peninsular Malaysia and Borneo, and also we are surrounded by sea. and the toughest part is doing training and operation in the swamp, whereby you guys have went through. So these are the things that we want to expose, that we are one of the best and toughest special forces in the world.
Yeah, and I think you guys did that. Your officers and your men were outstanding, and yeah, I think this was a great opportunity for the Malaysians to showcase to the world about the GGK. I know that around the world, a lot of nations, UK, US, some of the other big nations are really struggling with recruitment at the moment in the military and in the special forces. Do you think this opportunity will help your recruitment process?
Yeah, I mean, this documentary will really help us for recruiting, especially those who are interested to join the GGK. At the moment, we have good response because I'm very sure you have been going through the Malaysian Facebook, the Army and GGK. So it's one of the things that we want to instill patriotism to the Malaysians, and also to encourage the youngsters to join the Army and also to join the Special Forces, because we have to think that we are the one who's going to defend Malaysia from the incursion from outside. So this is one of the best platform to encourage the youngsters to join the GGK especially.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this series is a great opportunity for recruitment, and you guys seize that opportunity, which will be only beneficial for you. I only have a couple more questions because I'm conscious of your time, General. But what does the phrase "always be ready" mean to you?
Always be ready, because commandos can be deployed at any time, at anywhere. Doesn't matter, not only in Malaysia, and we also prepared to deploy any part of the world to save our citizens.
Amazing. And my final question, it's called Toughest Forces on Earth. GGK aside, in your own opinion, who do you think is the toughest force on Earth?
Oh, okay. After I've read a lot, I've joined a lot of exercises, been overseas. I hope the others will not get offended. I think the SAS.
The SAS?
The SAS have done the best. So far, I respect the SAS.
Yeah, the British Special Forces. I think, obviously being British myself, I'm not gonna deny that. But I think obviously we have a lot of history, and a lot of the Special Forces, as you've alluded to, you got a lot of your TTPs, your training from the SAS and from the Royal Marine Commandos. I do think that is almost like the baseline, and a lot of foreign Special Forces have utilized that. General, I just wanted to thank you so much. I think yourself should be so proud of what your guys did. It is without a doubt one of the best episodes. Ryan and Cameron and I had a great time. And the one thing I was really proud of at the end is you guys presented us with the famous Fairbairn Sykes Commando dagger. So it's great to see that you're keeping the commando tradition. And so this will take pride in place in my house. But thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Dean. My regards to the others who have joined us during the documentary that was done in Malaysia. All the best to you guys. So hope to meet you in future. And I hope you enjoyed your stay in Malaysia, and the experience that you had throughout when you were doing the documentary in 21 GGK.
No, it was amazing, and I from half of Cameron and Ryan, they too had a great time. But yeah, we won't be strangers. We'll be back soon. Maybe not in the swamps though.
I hope you've enjoyed your time in the swamp.
One time only. Thank you again, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome. Take care, then.
Take care. Thank you.